In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious. Assalamu alaikum, respected audience. Hope you're all good. I welcome you in my new video. Today is the part 3 of William Shakespeare as the greatest writer. In this video, today we will discuss Shakespeare as the greatest sonneteer, as the greatest English writer of sonnets. Sonnet basically is a poem with 14 lines and it has a very special rhyme scheme. Actually, this form of poem, it was in fashion in the Renaissance period, especially in the Elizabethan age, from which in fact Shakespeare belongs. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets. These are the separate sonnets. This is a collection of 154 sonnets. But there are some additional sonnets that are not counted here, and they are in some of his dramas. For example, Love's Labour's Lost, Henry V, and there's a very beautiful sonnet in Romeo and Juliet. Anyhow, they are additional. In the sonnets of Shakespeare, there are some very mysterious kinds of addresses. From sonnet 1 to sonnet 126, there is an address to the fair youth. Then from sonnet 127 to sonnet 152, there is an address to the dock lady. And the last two sonnets, sonnet 153 and 154, there is an address to the rival poet. The fair youth, the dock lady, and the rival poet. They are addressed in these respective sonnets. But who are they is always a controversy. There is an ambiguity. There is an obscurity. Nobody knows. There are some opinions. For example, some say that the fair youth is Shakespeare's friend, okay, and the rival poet is Christopher Marlowe, okay. There are some opinions, and dock lady is another mysterious lady, maybe Shakespeare's beloved ones. Anyhow, they are not clear. Historians and critics, they don't agree on a single point. Now, before we discuss the main features of Shakespeare's sonnets, there is a background of this form of poem. Before Shakespeare, there were some other forms of sonnets. Petrarchan sonnets and Spenserian sonnets. Petrarchan sonnets, they are basically from the Italian poet Petrarch, who was the inventor of this form of poem. And his form was followed by Sir Philip Sidney, later on by John Milton and Wordsworth as well. There are two main parts in the Petrarchan sonnet. There is first section of 8 lines, octave, and the final part of 6 lines, sestet. In the first 8 lines, octave, mostly the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and in the sestet, it is sometimes C, D, E, C, D, E, and sometimes it is C, D, C, C, D, C. It's variation sometimes. And the second form of sonnet is Spenserian sonnet, that were written by Edmund Spenser, one of the greatest English poets in the Renaissance and especially in the Elizabethan period. the writer of the Fairy Queen. He attempted another form of sonnet. And again, there are three quatrains and one couplet. And his rhyme scheme is A B, BC, CD, and final couplet E. This is the most difficult form or structure of sonnet. Okay, now we come to Shakespeare. Shakespeare has the most flexible rhyme scheme. There is a variety in this structure. It is again consisted of three quatrains and one final couplet. A B, CD, EF, G. I told you that this is different from others, unique as well. And again, three quatrains and the final couplet. Now, a very important thing in all sonnets is volta. Volta is basically a turn. It is a kind of line between problem and solution in a sonnet. So there is always a problem, a complexity, and mostly in Petrarchan sonnet, round about 8th line, there is volta, and then there is final solution. And in the sonnet of Shakespeare, it is mostly the last line of the first three quatrains, mean the last line of the third quatrain, you can say, or as a whole, the 12th line, this volta. And in the final couplet, there is the solution or resolution of the thing that was discussed or that was going on in the mind of the poet. Anyhow, we go further. Shakespeare wrote sonnets out of the depths of his mind and heart. It seems that he loves nature. He describes nature in his sonnets in the most impressive way, in the greatest way, rather I would say. Shakespeare's sonnets, they have some dramatic qualities as well. For example, there are characters, as I told you, they are addressed, the dock lady, the fair youth, the rival poet. So there is characterization like drama. Then some of the sonnets, they are like the dramatic monologues. Then some of the sonnets, there is the tone of soliloquy. That is one of the most important and greatest conventions of drama. Okay, and then if we come to the thoughts, the reflections, sometimes like Hamlet, Shakespeare broods on the cruelties and injustices of society. And like some other characters, he thinks about the human relations. He thinks about the changes in nature, okay, and about the decay, about the very short stay of man on this earth and the final decay, death. Shakespeare uses figurative language in a very, very magnificent way in his sonnets. Some of well-known figures of speech that he uses. Metaphor. That time of year thou mayst in me behold. Here that time is for autumn, old age. Then he uses allusions, a reference to the past, to Greek or Roman mythology. When he mentions, for example, phoenix bird in one of his sonnets. Okay, then similes, he uses similes in a very beautiful way. When he says, my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun. Then Shakespeare uses apostrophes. For example, he says, devouring time, blunt thou the lines pause. Shakespeare uses personifications when he says, "Do thy worst busy all time." So time is personified. Shakespeare's imageries are very beautiful. They really appeal to the imagination of the readers, of nature, of morning, of evening, of moonlight, of clouds, of rain, of colors, of yellow leaves, of foliage, of flowers. Uh, they are beautiful. Shakespeare really reflects nature and beautiful natural images in his sonnets. Some of the most important themes of Shakespeare's sonnets are love and friendship. Shakespeare defines what is true love and what is treachery, what is being faithful in love, and what is being unfaithful in love. And with love, he relates the theme of friendship. What is true friendship? What is treachery? Okay, and it goes to the depths of these relations. Then there is the theme of time. Shakespeare discusses time, the ravages of time. Time changes everything, even the beauty of nature, the beauty of beloved. And with time, he relates the theme of decay. That time, it finishes everything. It destroys everything. Beauty, attraction, power, strength, everything. And this is a great reality of life as well. Then we come to another theme. He discusses about the infidelity of the beloved. The way there is treachery in love. Okay, then there's the theme of immortality of art, especially the art of writing. When in one of his sonnets he says that time you do your worst. But one thing you must remember, you will be able to finish the beauty of my beloved. You will be able to convert the young age into the old age and then finally death. Yes, you can do all this. But the way I am praising my beloved in my sonnets, I have preserved that beauty in this writing. So you will never be able to finish this. The beauty of my beloved is preserved. It has become immortal in my words, in my poem. So beautiful that the art is immortal. To explain, it's always immortal. Nobody can destroy art. So this is one of the themes of this poem. Okay, there is an opinion of Oscar Wilde about Shakespeare's sonnets. Oscar Wilde says that there is always a personal, deep, autobiographical touch in the sonnets of Shakespeare. Shakespeare discusses his personal matters. The fair youth, the dark lady, the rival poet. Yes, we do not know who they are, but the poet knows. He has a very deep relation with them. We cannot deny that deep relation. So Oscar Wilde is very much right. Yes, there's a very deep touch. And this deep relation, it's very emotional. If Shakespeare is expressing his feelings about these relations and about those very powerful emotions. There's another critic, Philip Martin. He says that in the sonnets of Shakespeare, there's a touch of narcissism. Because now we know that it is personal. There are deep personal feelings, emotions related to Shakespeare's life, his personality, his personal likes and dislikes. So there must be a touch of narcissism. We go further. In his poems, Shakespeare treats nature most impressive way. The spreading clouds, the delicate, colorful flowers like rose and violets and lily. Then the cycle of the seasons over the year and the description of the seasons, autumn, winter, summer, spring. Okay? Then the birds flying up in the air, their colors. Okay? And the sweet songs of the birds. Then the description of the seasons, yellow leaves of autumn, red flowers of spring. So Shakespeare uses nature as the background of his sonnets. And it looks very impressive. The way Allama Iqbal said about Shakespeare, that he saw the world naked with his eyes. Yes, it is very much true about Shakespeare's sonnets. There are some great realities related to nature. For example, the reality of decay, the reality of transience. For example, the short stay of delicate and attractive flowers is compared to the short stay of humans on this earth. What is the reality of human existence? For a short time, short span of time. Like beautiful and delicate flowers. One day man will die. There is decay. Decay to beauty. Decay to strength. For example, he says, devouring time, blunt thou the line's paws. That time is so cruel. Yes, it has really used its power against the delicate beauty, against flowers, their fragrance, against everything. But it has not even left the most aggressive and ferocious beast like lion. Devouring time, blunt thou the lion's paws. Even the king of the forest, lion, is no more. He has no more power to hunt. This is the quality of time. But he says, in my art I will preserve the beauty of my beloved. So there, even time is helpless. So this is another kind of beauty. So we say that Shakespeare's description of nature is beautiful. Okay? And he writes this with great accuracy. Of morning, of evening, of daytime, of night. Okay? The description of the morning, of the evening, of the day. Okay? Then of the summer. This is very beautiful. Okay? It appeals to our imagination. Personally, I personally like Shakespeare's sonnets because of the description of nature and some of the very basic and realistic things related to human life. They are so great. Shakespeare wrote 154 sonnets, as I told you. Okay? But some of the sonnets, they are very special. They are so much selected. One of those sonnets is Sonnet 116, which I would like to read. Sonnet 116. Let me not to the marriage of two minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love is not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. Yes, it was beautiful. Now I would like to conclude my today's lecture. Shakespeare's sonnets, they are related to life. They are lifelike. That's why they appeal to us. There are deep feelings of love. It appeals to us. There are some feelings related to poets' personal life. It appeals to us. There is the beautiful description of nature. It appeals to us. And there are some things that are deeply related to man. It appeals to us. Because like the poet, man is also the effective of time and the qualities of time. Man is the victim of decay, is the victim of transience. So it all appeals to our imagination. It all gives us a very important feeling. Yes, Shakespeare was the greatest sonnet writer. That's all for today. Hopefully you must have understood today's lecture and you must have taken benefit. I will wait for your comments. Thank you so much. We will meet soon in our next video. Allah Hafiz.